What's up, sports freaks, and welcome to All Sports Media Team Presents Dubl Drbl, episode 37. We're approaching 50, guys. This is unbelievable. Episode 37, entitled The Black Italian, the Next Chapter. And if you know our guest this week, Elisha Taylor, you know that there's a big chapter coming in her life that's coming up. She's had a lot of big chapters before this that we're going to talk about. She's a baller. She's a model. She's an actress. She's just a big goofball. We love that. She's also a mama to be and super excited for that. So we're going to get into that in just a little bit. Before that, I want to introduce my panel. We got the Doc over here to the side. What's up, Doc? Good morning.
Hey guys, sorry I had to mute it. There was a siren going on.
There's always sirens with you and lawnmowers with me. I got the lawnmower to the next to me. It just happens. It's all good. And we got excited to be. Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. We've all been waiting for this one. Like legit, no joke, Alicia. We've been waiting for this one. And then we got a fully 100% finally Gilbert A+ Asensio. Gilbert, what's up, brother?
Yes, what's up, bro? I'm back and ready to get it on, bro.
Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. And then all the way up in the top of the state, up in the Sacramento area, we got our dude George Ochoa. He's our traveler, man. He's in Boston one episode. He's in Sacramento another one. What's going down, George?
Not much, man. Like everything's pretty, but it's still pretty cold out here. So, I'm living life right now.
All right, then let's do it. Oh, wait, let's wait a couple seconds so we can introduce the dude he's driving. You can always tell when he's driving. He's got that seatbelt. He looks like he's in one of those game cars, you know? And then last but not least, just joining in is the coach himself, Coach Don. How you doing, Coach?
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing?
We're chilling like a villain. It looks like you're heading out. So we'll leave you alone right now. We're ready to get started. And of course, we got the woman of the hour, the all-star street baller, the VBL legend. She's in Basketball Beauties. She's in the Drew, and she's going to be a mama, which makes it so much cooler. We got the Black Italian.
23.
That's right, 2-3. The Black Italian Elisha Taylor. Welcome.
Hey guys, thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. Wow. Thank you.
Take pride in that. So thank you so much. You don't know, Alicia, like for weeks and weeks, I'll be like, when are you going to get the Black Italian? When are you getting the Black Italian? I have episodes where the girls will be like, we've asked them, George has asked them, who should we get? Oh, get Alicia. You definitely need to get Alicia. So I hope you guys are happy. We finally made it happen with her personality, our personality. This is going to be a very fun show. I guarantee it. So, Alicia, what we do, well, first off, let's drop a congratulations. Congratulations. You're going to be a freaking mom. How are you feeling physically, mentally? Are you excited? What's going on in your mind with you right now?
Okay, I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited. I just found out we're having a boy. So I'm like, oh my gosh, he's definitely gonna be an athlete. Whatever he wants to be, I'm 100% supportive. I just already know, just based off of me and his dad, like we just love sports. So it's just gonna be a sports family. It's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to just get him his first basketball. Like that's. Don't make me cry on the first question.
Oh, don't worry. We got a few more that are going to maybe possibly do that. Don't worry. There ain't no filter on this show. So, but no, honestly, majority of people on here are parents. And, I said, we send you the congratulations. I mean, honestly, if you ever need any advice from any of us, you know where to find us. Even if you just need like a shoulder to cry on or like, oh my God, he's driving me crazy. It's 2 a.m. Hit one of us up. Like for sure, we'll help you out. We've all been there. Trust me. But it's the best. It's the best feeling in the world. Honestly, even when they're crying in your arms at 3 a.m., you're like, oh my God, go to sleep already. You're just like, it's still the moments especially when they're young, enjoy them when they're young. Okay. That's my advice. I was super excited when I saw that on your Instagram. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even know she was pregnant. Like, what the heck? Like, this is too cool. Then I told them, and they were like, what? Everybody.
It was shocking.
Yeah, everybody was super excited. So everybody's waiting for that one tournament when you return and you bring little man in the stroller, and everybody's gonna be all around him and you're gonna be balling. I'm like, oh, who's watching me? Like what's going on? Right, guys? The kids come and it's like you're invisible. Not in a bad way.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One question: Is your boy gonna wear number 23 if he takes up basketball?
Of course.
Whatever number he wants. I'm the type of person that I will press, an option, and hopefully he picks it up. He takes it. So 23 is my favorite number. I used to also like 23 backwards, is 32 magic, you know, and I love number 24. You got to have that 24-hour hustle to wear that number. So I'm gonna tell them that, like, yeah, you got to be able to put in that 24-hour a day, 7 days a week if you're gonna wear number 24.
And think of all the major names that have wore that number, you know, King Griffey Jr., you know, big names like that. So
Kobe.
That's good. Yes. Kobe, yes, I'm getting most definitely Kobe. And you had some relation with Kobe. You did a lot of training with Kobe and stuff like that. We're gonna get into that as well. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about. We'll start with your modeling career. You've been a model and an actress, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with modeling. What kind of modeling do you do? Or done?
All right, so modeling, I graduated from college, and I was told by many people, like, you should do modeling, you should do modeling. And I'm like, well, thank you for the, compliment. What's the avenue? What's the door? I don't even know what first to do. And they said, well, just take pictures, take advantage of social media. I had a Facebook, transitioning out of high school, MySpace. And then when you got into college, remember, it was only supposed to be for college students. So I was a little late to the Facebook game, got in there and just started posting pictures, and people start asking, can I take your picture? You're very lovely. Just girl next door. Like, I would love to take your pictures. So that's where it started. And then t-shirt companies, commercial print started picking me up, started making money. Doing trade for trade work, started off doing that, and then actually getting checks. I did my first commercial for the Los Angeles Sparks. Nobody knows that. It was for foster care for the LA Sparks. They were basically sponsoring the foster care connect people under Kashif Jones. And oh my God, I was one of the kids that was in the background doing basketball moves. I was just having fun. And he was like, pull her to the front. I want to see all those moves up front. She's doing so well in the back. And so it was just a sports oriented commercial for foster care. And it was just like, can you say a line? And I was like, yeah, I definitely can. And they said, just say this line. No matter my background, I'm still going to be great. And then I was like, the face of that commercial, and everybody who went to Sparks game that year in high school was like, oh my God, we saw you on the Jumbotron. I was
that's awesome.
That's
awesome. And I've seen your drill videos that you do. They're freaking cool. You're like bouncing two balls and spinning around and doing all that craziness. You guys got to check out her Instagram. It's ridiculous if you haven't see those. You also said you went to college. You graduated. What was your degree in?
Psychology.
Awesome.
I was turned on to psychology. I love everything about how the brain works, just human behavior, how to help people. I'm just like really wowed by our development of our brain. So that was the main thing that I had to focus on. People say like, oh, you could have been great in kinesiology, medical doctor, all that. I was like, why not psychology? Seems like you're going to be real good with the sports medicine right there. A great little career for me.
Absolutely. I know you can mix in your pleasure and your business. So that's awesome.
Yep.
I love psychology. I went to school for psychology for a long time as well. And then I switched over to communications. But we've talked about this on other shows. Who was it? I think it's Percy has a psychology degree as well. And we talked about people watching. Everybody on this panel likes to people watch. And it sounds weird, but it's actually a lot of fun. If you're like at the park and you're not like obviously staring at people, but like just watching like parents with their kids and stuff, or couples together. How does the guy treat the girl? How does the girl treat the guy? Or why is one kid acting one way on one side of the park and one kid is acting the other way? That's a little mixture of psychology and sociology, I guess. But I love both of those. So it's a lot of fun and you get to know people without even get to know them, So I think that's super cool that you do that. Okay, so you've done the commercials, you've done the modeling thing. Have you ever modeled for like a huge agency by any chance that you can talk about?
So let's see. I've done some campaigns for Nike and Adidas. So I'll talk about more so Adidas. We did like a little campaign where we did a 3-on-3 tournament.
Okay.
And then after the 3-on-3 tournament, me and my team, because we were just so amazing, they picked us up and it was like, we want you to help us with the launch of the shoe, the brand, put you in a whole bunch of gear, and put it all over the website. I was like, everyone can see this commercial everywhere. The shoes were fire. Adidas was just popping. I was amazing, doing spin moves, doing fun little drills. It was fun. I wish I could just like on that movie Click It, just go back to that one time so I can relive
with
it
Adam
every
Sandler?
single day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That's too freaking cool. You and I were talking, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. You and I were talking about this before we got on the air about working for different companies and the restrictions that you have. We talked about how in the past Britney Spears got in trouble for drinking a Coke when she was working for Pepsi. Do you ever have that situation, or do you find yourself in that situation one day? You're going to an Adidas event, you accidentally grab some Nikes or something. Like, honestly, has that ever happened to you, or have you ever thought of that happening to you, or any of that avenue?
Oh yeah. For the most part, some of the campaigns for Nike, they say, "Why are you wearing that Adidas Under Armour?" I was like, "Oh, my bad, my bad." So I just kind of like, what do I do?
Kind of like tuck it in.
But it's actually kind of worked out for me. If I'm wearing an Adidas sports bra and some compression shorts, they'll take it off me and put me in their Nike gear. They'll give me extra gear just to replace it. So I don't know, maybe I should show up more often with the awesome gear.
Yeah,
Yes, and they tell you to fold down your socks, but it don't look as great. So they just go ahead and go to the storage and let's get her some new socks. Like, thank you. I got a whole new wardrobe.
There you go.
So
it sounds like you got hooked up no matter what.
Yeah. That is too freaking funny. That's hilarious. So like on days they have like laundry day or whatever, you're gonna be like, hey, I need some new stuff. I think I'm gonna accidentally wear the wrong thing, I think that's hilarious. I think that's hilarious.
Subconsciously.
Right?
But yeah,
right.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. You're also a baller in so many different ways for so many different leagues. Let's talk about the leagues you've been in, and if I miss any, let me know. You've done street ball, the Drew, Basketball Beauties, and the VBL. Those are the big ones that I know about. Is there any that I've missed that you would like to mention, or are we able to just go ahead and jump into one of these?
So I started off, of course, college, but leagues wise, let's see, it's called the Beautiful Ballers.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know, have you heard of it? It's called Beautiful Ballers. It's more so Texas, down south, and Midwest, because I believe our teams were Chicago. We had a team in my team was Houston Inferno.
Okay.
Houston, Texas. Then we had a team in Atlanta, and then we had a team in Miami.
Okay.
And I believe another one in that down south area. And so I definitely wanted to continue basketball play after college, and going overseas was an option. I just wanted something fun to just play with, just to keep myself, I don't know, just moving. You don't want your joints to get all tight, right? So I was picked up by Beautiful Ballers.
Oh, cool.
And shipped out to Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And lived out there for about 10 months. And that's when I came back after the 10 months was up. And I talked to Basketball Beauties head, Jude, and he was all like, tell me about your experience out there. And I told him everything I had. Oh, it was amazing. The arenas, the experience, the travel. And he was like, we need to do that in LA. And I was like, let's get started.
Look at you. Watch out. Watch out. So now we know why the Basketball Beauties is around. This woman right here. Absolutely. Freaking love that. That's so cool. If you go to Houston now, it's a whole different world right now. You got to take your ice skates. It's insane over there.
Yes.
Yeah. I have all my
prayers for Houston right now.
Absolutely.
Prayers for Texas.
Absolutely. And the whole South area, Arkansas too, and a couple other places in that, Louisiana. I get all these people on my Insta that are just complaining like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I've never been through this before. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And then of course you get all those snow TikTok videos, the hilarious ones. It's crazy to see with Texas, because you think Texas, you think, hot, you think cowboys walking around. Yeah, and Now they're in snow. It's absolutely nuts. It's 2020/2021. That's all I can say. Let's be real. That's just them messing around with us. What about street ball? What'd you do in the street ball league?
So street ball, definitely just had my team in there whooping on some guys, like we're trying to
woman empowerment.
Woman empowerment.
We're trying to make it to the next the playoff championships, and we definitely take that L, but guess what? We made a big impact where a lot of people came over to our court to watch our games. That's how great we were doing against the guys.
Hey, Black Italian, tell them about the All-Star game for the basketball beauties that you guys did against the guys, how you guys whooped on them.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. Which one? Because we did it
you did one over at a school off Main Street, like near South Central. Like I think there was 2 of them that you guys did.
Man, okay, that one was great. Yeah. Guys, I don't know what it is about you guys. You just like, okay, we're gonna be flashy, we'll beat these girls. We're not gonna really have to do too much. Yeah. So when that happens, then you underestimate your opponent, which was gonna win in the first place. So they came in with that attitude, just we're gonna come out here and play willy-nilly. And guess what? We took over the day. We went ahead, we were hit, everyone was on, everyone was hitting their shots. Everyone was stealing the ball from the guys. The guys were unexpectedly like just having a lot of issues with us girls. So it was really fun.
Yeah, I love it. I don't do cockiness. I don't like people who think if they're cocky and they can back it up, then maybe. But if they're cocky and they get their asses handed to them, it's awesome. It's awesome to me. So I love the fact that you went in there and just smashed on them. What about the Drew League? We hear people, especially T, she always says it's dogs there. It's dogs. It's dogs. What is your experience of, right? What's your experience at the Drew?
Oh my God, the Drew League. Oh, that's so fun. So much fun, so much competition. I did the Drew League a few years. I haven't missed, I don't think I missed one since college. Since I ended college. Oh. But yeah, we had a bunch of different looks in there. We have like D1 players, D3 players. Ooh. We have overseas players. We got WNBA players. It is a mixture. It is a mixture up in there. And it just felt really good to be on a team of girls who were like, look, we're going to go so hard. Our goal is to win, kind of like a Mamba mentality, Kobe Bryant mindset. Like, we're not here just to play. No, we're here to actually win. If we're not first place, we're last type of mindset. So that's the Drew League mindset. And I remember one of my first teams, I pressed Cappy. Yes, Cappy Pondexter all the time. I pressed her. It's like, hey, have you heard of the Drew League? She's like, yeah, the men's Drew. I was like, no, the women's Drew. And she was like, I haven't really, because it wasn't, at its peak yet. I guess it wasn't being, on the media yet. And so I was like, you should come through. You should come through. My team has a spot. I have an extra jersey.
Nice.
Come through.
Whoa, okay.
And she was just like, okay, cool. She just saw me as this cool little quirky look. I just got out of college, fun person to be around. And she was just like, all right. She came through. And I told her, you should play with us. So she played with us, and I was so happy to have Cappy on my team. And she's a general. She's a real general. She don't play. What I mean by she don't play, she wants to win. She was not there just to show up and just to be there. She wants to win. So I was like, yes, good addition to my team.
Right. Like Chris Paul.
Yep.
Just like Chris Paul.
That's a huge name.
There you go.
Is there before we jump into your VVL experience, was there any other big name athletes that stood out that were at the Drew that you either got to meet or play against?
Odyssey, yes.
Odyssey
Los Angeles Sparks. Wow. When you see her on the big screen, you're like, oh my gosh, she's so great. She's fundamentally sound. I believe she's left-handed. Okay. If she's not left-handed, she's ambidextrous, so she can show you on both sides, show you up. Just seeing her out there with Essence as well. A few others, big names, Imani.
Gray.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Just so many girls out there, but Odyssey being on the opposite team that I'm gonna have to play, because me and her are similar in height. She's a little bigger than me. And I'm thinking to myself, who's gonna guard her? Me. And I have so much respect for her. I have like 100% respect for her. And we've crossed each other's paths a few times, but she don't know who I am. I know who she is.
Okay.
And I was talking to her, you know, and she was just like, okay, I'll see you out there on the court. And I gave her my best defense. I took her to the basket. You know, she gave me her best. She still scored hers. I scored mine. And at the end of the game, when you clap on the line, you just bloop, bloop, bloop. She gave me a handshake. She was like, you tough. I was really feeling myself that day because I was playing against one of my favorites.
Okay.
I love her so much.
That's freaking awesome.
Back and forth.
Right? And the respect, and you earn respect from someone, you know, that big name, you know, you get your name out there as well. So
yeah,
that's pretty freaking awesome. All right, let's also jump in. Let's jump into where my first time I got to see you, the VBL. You know, VBL, people, if they've never seen the VBL, what does the Black Italian Elisha Taylor want to tell people about the VBL?
The VBL basically is a great environment outside on the beach. The best way to play basketball isn't inside of an arena, it's outside where the sand, bathing suits, water, everything, just that's the best setting to play basketball in. So I'm super stoked that I got that opportunity. So you guys all agree.
100%.
It be hot sometimes, but it's worth it. It feels great out there. Nick did a great job of putting this together. I'm so happy that he allowed girls to be on a co-ed situation. Because I mean, why not be co-ed? Why not have girls and guys going at it? That's dream come true, you know?
That's the icing on the cake.
It's cool. I love it. Yes. I love it.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I absolutely.
So yeah, I was on a team. P4E picked me up. I'm so happy. God bless. Thank you. That was my favorite team. I couldn't imagine being on another team at that time. It was just like, wow, we're playing at a high level. Dunking is happening, lobbing it up, coming down. Guys are not giving you just a free pass. No, they're gonna try to give you one-on-one action. So you got to give it back by crossing them up, use your moves.
Right.
BBL is legit. It's not, out there just for showboating, even though there's a few showboating going on. But it's a lot of fun. That's what the BBL is about.
Yeah, it's just a great environment.
Also, bring communities together, of course. Yeah, bringing communities together, giving that platform for something positive and extreme, and just the Cali weather, enjoying all of that at the same time.
Seriously, right? Absolutely freaking. I love it. It's just like you said, it's just got the great vibe, Even the I think it was Dockweiler when Sunblock won, and they had the sunset in the background because we had that big delay or whatever delay we had. We had no lights. We had no lights. We're all going around with our phones. That's stuff you can't say in an arena, That's stuff that doesn't happen in an arena. So it's freaking cool. I absolutely love it. What was your favorite moment of playing in the VBL? Anything that stood out to you?
ISO cards.
I love ISO. Oh, dang it. No, we. Do I do it, George? Do I do it?
Cards. Yeah, do it.
I don't want to do it. I like.
No, Ricky, you have to.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Sorry, Doc. George is making me do it. Long Beach. We had 2 ISOs. You went up against a girl who was on the P4E team that we know very well, and the game was on the line twice, I believe, right, George? How did that feel? I'm blaming George for this one. I wasn't going to do this, Elisha. I still love you, I promise. How did that feel going up against, someone you haven't played against very much with the game on the line? Like, was there, I'll go to Doc and see what she was going through. This was a Long Beach week 2, and you went up against Doc twice.
You asked me first?
I'm asking you first.
Okay, cool. Yes, so
this is on you, George.
I'm literally first and foremost, let me just put this out here. I was a little sad that I wasn't on my P4E team. Don't make me cry again.
I told you there was going to be more. Sorry.
Yeah, I was on a different team. Loved the guys. They were amazing. They were my go-to team because I felt brotherly love on that team. But as far as my family, P4E, they were already stacked and ready to go. And I got late to the ball game. I needed to get clear for,
Mm-hmm.
So I just needed to make sure that I was, in the right realm and mindset to play still. I was physically capable, and P4E was already locked down. So I was like, okay, cool. And then my first game is against my family. Like, oh man.
Right.
So I remember being on the opposite team, and they were like, okay, you know what? We're going to give you the ISO opportunity. And I was like, great. Wait a minute, what?
Right?
They set you up on
and
that
it's like, we know you got it. We know you because you already scored half of our points already, and only one person on my team knew that I was pregnant. And I was just like, okay.
Crazy.
Like, I'm definitely gonna go out there and give it my best. Whatever the results are, it's just like, it's gonna be what it is. I went out there and I was like, let me go ahead. I know what I'm gonna do. I planned it out accordingly. I'm going to, razzle dazzle, run down the clock a little bit, cross, right? Give it a little hezzy, right? Hoping that, Doc, at the time, because I didn't know her personally yet, I was like hoping that, this might get her knees a little buckly. So I'm like, okay, rattle daddle, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and cross. I'm going to do a hard crossover from my left to my right. And I'm going to swipe through her. I'm going to swipe right past her and use her body against her momentum, because she's coming this way. I figured that she would come at me. And when I would go right by her, once, bringing her down to the 3-point line, kind of to the free throw. And I'm just going to swipe just like jelly, like just come off her body real quick. And then she fouls me. I was like, no. Missed the
we actually got that on video.
Yeah, George. Okay, for the record, Elisha, George wanted me to put that as the highlight video. I was like, no.
Why
I'm
not
doing that?
Why not?
No need.
All right, Doc. After hearing that, what do you have to say? We have to hear it from your side too. You're smiling like crazy over there.
Well, okay, so I was telling the guys, I was literally, I don't want to say the bad word, but
There ain't no filter.
blanking bricks at that time. Like when you guys did, I literally, everything kind of like went black for a second, and it was like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I going to do? Like, like I've never been in that situation. I was telling everybody before, like I've never been in that situation before. Like first of all, I haven't played with girls since 1999. Okay. Well, I played one season with the girls on the loot, but it's not like I haven't played with girls for so long. And it's just, I wasn't really comfortable playing with girls yet. And it's a long story. But anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Like, what am I going to do? And Drewski was just like, do whatever you have to do. Just do whatever you have to do.
Smart.
Don't let her score. And they didn't tell me, thank God they didn't tell me that nobody had scored on them on an ISO card on their team. So if you had scored on me, it would have been the first time somebody scored on an ISO card on P4E. And so I was,
oh, that was a lot.
Gosh, thank God they didn't tell me that part. But I was literally in complete fight or flight mode. Like, okay, I'm fighting for my life right now. So, you know what's funny though? After I found out that you were pregnant at that time, I was like, what the heck, man? Like,
like, why are you playing basketball?
I was like, that is amazing. That is so cool. Because I had just had a major surgery like 5 weeks before that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm ready. I'm like ready. There's nothing really wrong with me. I'm feeling good. Like I can play. But like, as I was out there, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm like winded, like I'm moving like crazy, like an old lady. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, I'm trying to do things in my head. I'm like telling my body go, but my body's like not responding. And so I was like, dang, she was probably in the same freaking boat right there. Like both of us like a little bit disabled at that moment. I was like so proud of myself that you didn't score. And then I found out that you were pregnant and I was like, dang.
Hey, y'all different.
Y'all different. Yeah, that was straight entertaining, and to do it twice made it even better. Like I remember, I was standing by George, and he was filming, and when you guys had to do the second ISO, I'm like, oh my god, George, we have to do this again. This is like deja vu right here, you know. So absolutely awesome story.
And then I was like, hey Ricky, I got you on this. I got you on this clip.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that scares me. Yeah, and he did. He got 2 really good shots. So that was an awesome moment. Go ahead.
The second moment was good too. I think my mindset was I'm gonna try to get away from her this time. The second time, I don't know, Doc. Do you remember I spinned away from you because I figured you were gonna foul me again when we had huddled. The guy said, "Oh, she's gonna make sure that you don't score by fouling you." Which is, it also works in our benefit, but if you know VBL rules, if you foul, you know, the ball keeps coming back to us, and then the ISO card, like you only can get it so many times, so then it would just kind of like decease the ISO. Because if, you know, Doc was being very smart, what she was just do whatever it takes, just like P4E is definitely smart to talk to her and tell her, just do what it takes to take her out. And so that was what our team discussed. Like, she's going to continue fouling you, and then the ISO card is going to be obsolete. And then, because once she's out, then they're gonna put she's gonna foul out. So that was what we talked about. So if she would have fouled me, she would have fouled out, and then ISO card with me with one of the P4E guys would have been a nice little situation, but it wasn't gonna work because, you know, I was gonna be like, yo, let's put our bigger dudes out there to go ahead and hang time. So if she would have got subbed out, I would have been subbed out, and that it kind of was been like a draw. And so that second time, let me spin away from her, and I spent into my player / her player that was kind of on that right outside of the block, and put the shot up, looked at it. It was slow-mo for me. And it went dink, dink, and it came out, and I was like, dang. Then we had to just play regular ball, and then they got the win.
The game was straight insane. There's no other way to put it. Those endings were absolutely crazy. Go ahead, Doc.
That play-by-play and like how you remember everything in such detail.
Yeah.
I really think the world moves in slow motion for you, Elisha.
It does.
That is amazing. And I know people who, when they're doing something, when they're playing basketball or when they're fighting or whatever, like certain athletes, the world slows down and moves in slow motion, and they see everything in like the split second detail, just like how you described everything. That is so cool. Yeah. Really, really cool.
A lot of sports are like that. I want to
probably watch that clip 50 times.
Yeah, and you probably laugh each time. I want to stay on the basketball train just for a little bit longer. You were also a McDonald's All-American, I believe. How do you feel about the fact that got canceled this year?
Wow, everything got shut down. It's not fair. I feel like, I feel so devastated for all the young girls who've been waiting for this. I hope that they still got their plaque or their certificate.
Yeah.
I remember receiving mine. It's kind of like deja vu, because what people don't know is I injured my knee, my leg. I broke my leg. Yeah, I keep forgetting because I had 2 injuries, but I broke my leg in high school and was nominated as McDonald's All-American and did not get to play.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was devastated. So I can imagine the girls today, they don't have no leg break, but their situation was taken from them due to COVID-19. And so they're probably boohoo crying like me. I want to be a McDonald's All-American. Well, I didn't really cry, but you know what I mean? In your mind, you're like,
you want to be out there. You want to show your skills, you know?
Yes, imagine.
I feel like you're reading my mind. I was literally going to go into your surgery next, just really fast. You did overcome a major surgery. Can you talk about that a little bit? Maybe, well, what happened? And then how did you overcome it?
Okay, so when I broke my leg in high school, that was career changing. It was career changing. I was looking into Pepperdine University in Malibu, and the coach was looking at me, and I went on a recruiting trip out there. They was already talking about how small of a guard I was, but I mean, depending on your skill set, they'll still, put that money investment into you. So all I had to do is show them from my junior year to my senior year, because I met the coach my junior year, that my senior year was worth her investing in me, but I didn't get to play because I broke my leg. So it was career changing. That was my number one school. And I ended up getting accepted to all sorts of colleges. Don't get me wrong. My grades were superb. I really, focused hard academically as well. I didn't focus just on basketball. I had straight A's. So I got in academically everywhere that I applied. And then as far as basketball wise, all the teams that I wanted to play for: UC Davis, UC San Diego, UC Santa Barbara, and UC Irvine. And on top of that, some of the Cal States. And on top of that, Pepperdine, my number one school. They kind of like, okay, we can't recruit somebody in a cast, My senior year kind of was like, okay, I have to go off of old footage and then my newfound body that I was going to develop after this injury is over. And my season was up. So I had all, year to do travel teams, gather footage, send them out to colleges. My summer was all about making sure that I contacted these coaches. And they're like, okay, you could be a walk-on. You could be a walk-on. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm humble as can be. I'm humble as a bumblebee, but I'll sting you because look, I'm definitely
I love
worth
that.
Yeah, I'm worth more than just a walk-on. And then you see, and then potentially give me a partial scholarship. So a lot of teams offered that, like UC Irvine and whatnot. And I was like, no. My high school coach was like, you're a D1 player. Like, we'll get you in somewhere. Your injury, you're not 100% yet because you're still scared to go in there and just wrecking ball.
Yeah.
But I was more of like smart. Once you get injured, I noticed that you get a little bit more smarter to know that you can't just go in willy-nilly and just use your body and just go crazy. But I still had that, mighty, no fear attitude. And then I got picked up by Cal Baptist University. They said, we want to give you a full ride. Our school is freaking big, known for its training kinesiology department. We'll rehab you back to 100. We don't care that, Elisha Taylor was injured and that, we can get you back to that 100%. You just got to invest in us too. And I was like, Cal Baptist, Riverside. It's gonna be hot out there. Okay.
Hey, I know because I went to UC Riverside, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's hot and dry out there.
That
it's hot. And I just, I took the whole summer evaluating all the schools I could have went to on academic scholarship and walked on to teams. Like I'm telling you, I could have just walked on to any team. But I wanted to be full ride scholarship D1 athlete. So I got my dream and it was at Cal Baptist. And then I got that, Baptist experience, Christian environment. I love that. And just I got injured after I left college. So the second injury, because I did transfer to Concordia University, Irvine. And when I was out there in Houston from Concordia, I already graduated. I literally kept my body in the most best shape ever, came back home, sat around a little bit, got my first management job at Equinox. You know,
Okay.
I was feeling myself, got into the workforce, but I'm thinking I still got basketball in me. And I injured my ACL playing at Concordia University. I tore all my ligaments in my knee. And that was devastating. It was worse than my break. I was thinking that a broken leg is worse than an ACL tear, but no, it's not. It's longer injury.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yeah, that was career changing.
And it's crazy because it opens doors, even like nasty injuries like that. Like it opened the door for you to Cal Baptist that maybe you otherwise might not have gone to. So
yeah, exactly.
Pretty crazy. That's crazy. You've also done some pretty cool things on the side. We got about 20 minutes, give or take, unless you'd let us stick around a little longer. Gilbert, I believe, has a question for you regarding the Clippers and training with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. How was that experience working with the Clippers and also getting to know Kobe?
Good question. It's funny fact, people may not know, and there's a lot of people who do know. I actually worked for the Clippers for their dance crew first.
Oh, didn't know that.
So right now I coach for their youth program, but when I first wanted to work for the NBA, I also wanted to work for the Sparks too. So I just searched what opportunities were out there to work for the NBA. And I got hit with this audition, and I was like, audition? That kind of goes into acting, modeling,
right?
You know, my whole shebang bang. But I'm thinking, audition for the Clippers, for a job with the Clippers. I'm like, what is that? So I read into it. It was very, what's the word? Broad. It said, do you want to work for the Los Angeles Clippers?
Oh, wow.
Do you have basketball enthusiasts? Are you a basketball enthusiast? Do you love being in the arena? I'm like, yeah. And so the thing said, just bring your talent. It was really broad. It was like, bring your talent, bring your A game, and come to this audition to become a part of the Los Angeles Clippers hoop troop. I don't know what hoop troop means.
Yeah.
I'm like, hoop troop? It got something to do with basketball, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show up. And so I went ahead and showed up to this gym. I believe it was somewhere, I guess in Hollywood, West Hollywood. And we're auditioning to be a part of like a hype team, like a t-shirt throwing halftime show for the LA Clippers. I was like, oh my God, what did I just come to? Like, this is so much fun. I like this. I'm watching everybody auditions, like 150 people there. And I went last because I was like,
oh no,
this ain't basketball, this ain't shooting and drills and drills. Like this is something else. And people was doing backflips, gymnastic tricks. Wow. People was doing break dancing and you know, getting their little dance on and stuff and showing their like, you know, personality. So when it came to my turn, I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm really good with the basketball. Like spin it on my finger, give you some like fun moves and stuff like that, and shoot a basket from all ranges of the court. Would that get me the job? I highly doubt it, because they're not gonna need me on the court for that, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna do that anyways. And on top of that, I'm just gonna wow them with my personality. So I went out there and I started screaming and shouting. I was like, all right, everybody, y'all gonna have to help me out. So the whole crowd was in on it. Okay. The people auditioning. I was like, put your hands again, let's go. Hey, hey, go Clippers, go Clippers. I said, go, you say Clippers, go Clippers, go Clippers. Like, it was going crazy, right? I had them amped up, and then and then I started like dancing. I started, you know, dribbling the ball, and then I made everybody stop, pause, and I'm about to, you know, do a stunt. I'm not a stunt. Oh, no. At that time, I'm not someone who could do backflips, front flips, or whatever. But they had a mat for anyone who wants to do gymnastic stunts. So I was like, all right, I'm about to get it. And so I was like this, and I did like a little somersault, like a little like somersault, little curl on the ground, and everybody started busting up laughing. And the judges started laughing. They were like, did she just like do a somersault? Like, did she just roll on the floor? I just rolled on the floor and had everybody crack.
Yeah. Oh.
So I got the job because I was crazy. And they like
That's
that.
awesome. It kind of froze towards.
Also, I could toss the t-shirt to like level 300 as well.
Oh, there you go. Those guns can shoot too.
There you go. See, you're a hype girl. You're a hype girl.
Yeah. So that's what they wanted. They wanted the hype spirit. So
there
yeah,
you go,
they put me on the squad. I became a hoop trooper for the Los Angeles Clippers.
Wow.
Represent.
You might want to burn that and put Lakers on there.
Oh God, stop it, George. We're trying to promote her, not you. Stop it. Speaking of Lakers, okay, you can stop now. Speaking of Lakers,
hold on, I want to ask you one more question.
Go ahead
before we move on to Lakers. What year was that when you were working with the Clippers, Black Italian?
Oh, that's
so 15, 16, 17. I was 16, 2016. Hoop Troop 2016, 2017, and then 2018, I transferred into a different department working with the youth basketball program because I was like, okay, dancing and hoorahing during the whole stadium of the of the Staples Center was cool, but I want to go coach basketball for LA Clippers. And then so an avenue opened with Sam Cassell as my recommendation. I got the Los Angeles Youth Clippers basketball job where I became a lead Clipper coach for the youth program.
Nice. Now I know what's my kid with you.
Exactly. Kiddo coming. He's gonna be there too. We'll see. Real quick, we're big on Kobe here. We absolutely love Kobe. Some of us here have met Kobe. You got to work with them. What was that like, and what did you learn from the Mamba himself, Kobe Bryant? Oh no.
Ricky, are you there?
We're here. I'm here. We had it froze for a second. I'm so sorry. You got to work with Kobe before it goes out again. You got to work with Kobe. What was it like, and what did you learn?
Okay, so that opportunity opened up from Nike.
Oh, cool.
Reps from Nike definitely got me that opportunity by asking me if I wanted to, because I asked, is there any more gigs for me to do for any more campaigns for Nike and whatnot. They said, well, we do have this coaching opportunity that may fit you. Since you already work for the Los Angeles Clippers, you already know how to coach. We have like these opportunities that just come around. And they didn't tell me exactly what it was. They just said the Mamba League was training coaches to be Mamba skilled coaches, Mamba mentality coaches. And I was like, that's crazy cool. I think I'm already on that wavelength. So I went to the Galen Center in downtown LA, USC, where they trained us to be Mamba coaches. And it was like, look, I already know how to do this. Like, I already know how to push myself to be great and push another to be amazing. So it came like butter to me. So I went through that with flying colors, got my certificate, and then I got a call the next week. Mind you, there's like hundreds of people there that was getting their certificate to be coaches, but they called me personally and said, hey, we selected you out of all the coaches. We have maybe 20 sites where we're starting up the Mamba League. It's like an academy for kids to learn how to play basketball. First timers, kids that already are developed, continue developing. And it's going to be at boys and girls clubs, rec centers, all over. And would you be interested in that? I'm like, yeah, my first opportunity with Mamba. Yeah, of course. Why would I say no? And I'm like, okay, cool. I thought to myself, what the locations are. And they said, we have Marina Del Rey, Venice Beach, and we have Burbank, and we have South Central in Watts. And I was like, Watts? And it was like, yeah, the location that we have that we don't have coaches set for, these are the locations. And I was like, okay, cool. And they said, would you be interested in Watts? I'm like, yeah. And they was like, well, you know what? Actually, there is one coach there. Usually we try to put 2 to 3 coaches at all sites. But if you don't want Watts, we could put you in like Marina Del Rey or something like, no, put me in Watts. I'm actually from Watts. So
There
they're
you
like, oh, you are.
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, I'm from Watts, California. So that's fine. I'm really great with that. And it was like, perfect. We didn't want to like just place you where we want you to pick. I was like, I picked that.
There you go.
And so, yeah, it worked out perfectly. And so I show up, and like I said, I don't know what to expect. And the kids they're not knowing what to expect either. We have just weeks and weeks and weeks of training each other. They're training me how to be a greater coach. I'm training them to be greater players. That's kind of like a great give and take. And wow, we all just decided we're going to work together. And when we go to the Mamba Academy, we're going to show out and show Kobe that we're the best team in his Mamba League. We got to meet him in that setting. Another tearjerker, right? We got to see Kobe Bryant and Cappy Pondexter in Thousand Oaks. I believe that's where the Mamba Caddy is.
That's
and
right.
It was amazing hearing him speak. Amazing seeing him hug my kids. Put like a lot of his energy, like they were his daughters, treating each and every one of the kids like they were going to be the greatest athlete of all time, just mentoring and giving us love, us coaches putting his hands over us, talking about good job, you guys, keep that Mamba mentality alive. Leaving that day was like, oh, we didn't want that day to end. It was so much fun. And then, you know, more workout, more training for the kids until we finally got to the tournament, which we had at Southwest College, where the Mamba League played against all teams. So Whittier, Venice, Marina Del Rey, all the teams got together to play against each other. So everything we taught these kids is going to be put to the test. And so Kobe Bryant came to watch each and every one of those games.
Wow. That's so freaking awesome.
And then to sum it all up, at the end, they rewarded all the kids with, you know, their MVPs and their most valuable coaches award and all that. And so we had, from our team, we had an MVP, we had a coaches award, and a few other teams went home with the championship trophy, Whittier, and my team was second place.
Okay.
Yes, we took second place, and that's okay, because our kids worked really hard for that. Yeah. But we wanted that first place, like I said, either first or last. But we wanted, they already knew that. They knew that they were. They're not going to be third place. They're not going to be the last team. That's why we were fighting nitty gritty, trying to just get that win for the first place. Out of all the teams in that arena, we was almost there. Yeah. We almost got it. The camp was almost over. I'm packing up to leave. I tell my rep, my boss, I said, I got to go. I have a family reunion. I'm about to leave up out of here. Kobe Bryant is talking and still giving recognition to some people. I say, I gotta go. She's like, no, stay. And I'm like, but I have to go. I'm really late. Like I'm really like, my family is like pressing me. Yeah. And they said, please just stay one more minute. And that 1 minute turned into 20 minutes.
Of course.
I'm like, I really have to go. And then there was like, it's something important. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's go. Let's do it. I'm just gonna stay. It's not like I'm going to beat traffic anyways. Yeah. So I hear Elisha Taylor, but I don't know what for. I'm like, what? Kobe Bryant says my name out of his mouth out there giving awards to kids. And then he says, Elisha Taylor. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking down and they're looking at me. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, yes. So Mamba League Coach Award goes to Elisha Taylor. What? And I go crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I go crazy.
Oh my God. I can only imagine your reaction. That's insanity. That is so freaking cool. And that's a memory you're going to have forever. You can tell your son about, you know, that's wow.
That's crazy.
So he gave me a trophy and signed jersey.
Okay.
So awesome.
That's awesome, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the Mamba League trophy It was for the Wiznard, because he has a book.
Okay.
Okay.
That's so cool.
And his book was and being a Wiznard at your craft, and so he gave me a Wiznard trophy. It's actually put up, so I couldn't open my little lock and key thing. But yeah.
That's so freaking cool. I love hearing these stories of everybody who's met Kobe. Doc's got stories, you got stories, you got other ballers that have different stories. This one's so freaking cool. So thank you for sharing that. We are at the top of the hour. I'm going to ask you, are you okay to stick around for just a little bit longer? We have a couple more questions.
Yes, I'm good.
You're amazing. We love you.
Oh,
all
yeah,
right, cool.
good.
With that said, we want to let everybody know you're watching All Sports Media Team presents Dubl Drbl episode 37, Black Italian, the next chapter. And we're going to get in. We talked about her going to be a mom. She's a baller. She's been a model. She had all those cool stories. We just talked about every league she's played for, plus working for the Clippers, plus working for the GOAT himself, Kobe Bryant. A lot of people idolize Kobe, including some people on here. My question to you is, who did you idolize growing up? Who did you pan your game after?
So my first love for basketball on the TV screen was Magic Johnson.
Okay.
I really was into his game. Didn't know how tall he was. I was 7.
Hey, I was 7 too. I was right with you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they say point guard, and most, your uncles and family say you're probably gonna be a point guard unless you hit 6 feet. So I was like, Magic Johnson's a point guard. So he's like 100 feet point guard. So
yeah.
I really liked his game. And then I saw Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Like I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I saw Michael Jordan play. I had some old highlight tapes, VHS tapes of Michael Jordan. And I was like instantly like, oh my God, I wanna play like that. I wanna play so good that I have a shoe.
Right? Hey,
like your own signature shoe.
Know.
That part. And then Kobe Bryant hit the scene.
Right?
Yeah.
Never know.
23.
Never know.
That number actually was given to me by my first coach.
Okay.
So it was given to me. I enjoyed 32 and I enjoyed 23, and it's like a backwards number. But my coach, my first basketball experience, he was like, you're going to be number 23 because number 23 goes on the back of greats. And I was like, I just learned how to
Wow. Like tearjerker right there. Are you kidding me? What a compliment.
Right.
That's
my favorites of all time, Kobe Bryant. He wowed me even to the max. So it went from me loving Magic, then he was no longer playing, and Jordan, he's at the end of his career, and then Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
he's a Laker. I love the Lakers, and Kobe Bryant's on the Lakers, and he's young and he's new and he's hot, and everything is like surrounding him. He's going to be the greatest of all time. He's new to the game, but guess what?
Wow.
That's me. I'm new to the game. So I followed his whole entire career, and he's my number 1 favorite player of all time.
You can't pick anybody here. So we agree with you 1,000,000%. Another question. You can do WNBA, NBA, either or you can do both. You played in so many different leagues. You probably already played against so many people. You get to go one-on-one with any WNBA player, any NBA player. Who is it and why?
Ooh, that's tough. Let's see. It's tough. That's tough. Oh my gosh. This question I should have been asked earlier.
No, it's more fun this way.
It's more fun.
Let me see. I mean, I would love to go against Kobe, but rest in peace. Let's see. Right now, currently NBA wise, let's see. Kyrie.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Point guard versus point guard with the good handles.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hang on. Doc had a weird reaction. What was that reaction about, Doc?
She could
you feel like a kind of look.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. This whole time, so you guys, probably are hearing like everything on the surface, right? This whole time I'm thinking digging deeper, like
Of course.
Elisha's personality, her confidence, like her strive for excellence. Like my question is, where did you get this from, Elisha? Like you are larger than life in all ways, like, and so you just seem to be so in love with everything that you do, and your attention to detail, like with all of your memories. Like I'm in awe right now throughout this whole thing. Like, where did you get this from? Is your mom like you? Is your dad like you? Like, how did you develop like this?
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, I came from actually, you know, a rags to riches to rags background, I would say. Rich meaning like, you know, stable, your family's doing good, you know. But my mom definitely instilled in all of us kids. I have a lot of brothers. Oh my gosh. So through my mom, I have 3 brothers and a stepbrother. So I was raised up with 4 brothers. And my dad also has a few kids of his own as well. And I'm just like, you know, I have brothers that keep me humble. They don't mind wrestling me. Don't mind, you know, going that extra mile, playing with me. Don't get scared of getting scrapes and your knees like messed up, you know, playing outside on the gravel. I'm a little tough thing. I love to wear pink, but I'm also gonna go out there and get it dirty. So
we see that.
that was
We
one
see
thing.
that.
Yeah, one thing about me. And then as far as just being optimistic, my mom is like that. Like, good that you pointed that out. I got it from my mother. No matter if we had no money, she was optimistic. She'd make it work. No matter if we didn't have a place to stay, she'd make it work for us kids and find us, you know, a space to be able to be safe. Moving to South Central was very tough for her. And having a new baby, my little brother, myself, her daughter, and my older brothers, you know, going off to community college or into the workforce, she's like struggling and whatnot, having all kinds of issues or whatever. And the thing is, I can't, you know, dwell and be all just sad from going from living in a beautiful home in the Bay, like close to the Bay Area, Madera, Fresno area. And then we don't have enough money to afford living there anymore. And we moved to South Central, where, you know, things aren't as great as our experience before, but we gotta make the best of it. Checking into school as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, in a new environment, not knowing what to expect. I just, you know, took every day like a new experience, like this is gonna be the greatest day ever.
You gotta be optimistic. Come on now, really?
And then picking up a basketball, I don't have to worry about the things going on in my neighborhood. I'm a kid. At the end of the day, my mom said, just be a kid. Don't worry about what mommy and daddy is going through. Just be a kid. Have as much fun. Like, just be a kid. And I was like, okay, great, thank you.
There you go. Yeah, it kind of cut out right there. But I'm getting what you're saying, going from one life to another, and then adjusting to that life, and then going to another life. Especially now with the pandemic, a lot of families are going through that. Me personally, I'm going through the exact same thing. I have 3 jobs. I have no job now. You know, I'm on a furlough, and my son is the exact same way. Daddy, I have money. You know, I'll give you. I'm like, I don't want your money. You know, just I want you to learn about what's going on right now and how it's going to make you stronger. And you're definitely going to be doing this as well, Elisha. Trust me. In the next 4 years or so, you're going to be having those talks as well. I guarantee it. So that's awesome. But it's awesome that it made you who you are. George, look at me right now. That it made you who you are. You know, you went from one life to another, and it made you into the person that you are now, which is an amazing goofball, but ready, determined, ready to kick butt at a moment's notice type of person who also wants to change lives of other people, which I think is absolutely amazing. So definitely don't lose that ever. George, you were jumping in a couple times. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Elisha, like if I remember correctly, didn't you tell me you're the only girl in the family?
Yeah, so my mom, like I said, she has 4 boys and myself. Okay. And then my dad, he has two daughters and a son as well. Okay. But I'm the baby on his side, and I was the baby. And then my mom decided to have a baby boy, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not the baby no more. And she was like, you're my baby girl.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. You got a couple.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us, because you know, like you have so much depth to you. Like I don't know, it's different. Like even like after we talked very briefly after the ISO at the BBL, when I spoke with you, you just have like this inner light, like this spark inside of you. And I didn't realize how much shorter you were than me until after the game. And we were like talking, you know, I didn't realize. I was like, oh my gosh, I really thought she was taller. But there's just you, like you're just larger than life. And it's really amazing. And it's really amazing to hear like your backstory and how you grew up and everything and how you see the day, because you can tell throughout your story of basketball and your career and everything that you've shared with us today, that you really do strive for excellence, that you really are a leader for others. And that comes naturally to you. The way that you can lead the crowd, like that's why you got the job, because you were able to control the crowd. And so like you just have that about you, and this positivity. You're really good at saying good things about yourself, like promoting yourself, but not in a way to where you sound cocky or you sound like conceited or whatever. Like you're just stating the facts, and you're not afraid to promote the good things that you have in your life, or you, or your just the excellent things about you. Like I love that. And I think that especially young women need to have more of those kinds of role models. So that's really, really cool.
I agree.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. We got a couple more questions about these silly questions we do with everybody. So I have to do them with you, especially with your big bubbly personality. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Okay, you get handed a blank check. You're an LA girl, you know, you're with the Clippers, you work with the Lakers, you know, you're a Laker fan. You get a blank check handed to you to play for any WNBA team. Yeah, I think I do too. Any WNBA team. Where are you going and why?
Los Angeles Sparks, baby.
Whoop, whoop.
That's a no-brainer.
I gotta ask, bro. I gotta ask. You never know. I mean, that's your area. You know, you working with the Staples Center all the time, so that's home for you.
Yes.
That's cool. Are you bummed? Okay, you're going to the Sparks now. Are you bummed that Candace left?
Yes.
Or Chelsea Gray left?
Yeah, and Chelsea. Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Yes, they did. But the thing is, I understand that they have paths that they want to take, and if they need that new path and that you know, that money talk and that different respect, and you got to get it like that. So I get it. I'm not like that person who's like, oh, look at KD, he's swishing tees. Like, you got to do what's best for you and take care of your family, take care of you and your mental state. And if the is, you know, just, you know, so comfortable with you being there, let me show you how comfortable you're not going to be. So
it's funny you mentioned the mental game, because Candace went home. A lot of people don't know that. You know, Candace went home, and that's gonna help her psyche, honestly. You know, she's gonna be sitting at home cooking. She'll get to see mama. She'll get to see, you know, family, and that's gonna make a big deal. That's why I wasn't as bummed when she left. You know, I was more happy for her than anything. So okay, another one that we like to ask. I don't know why we call it this. We really got to get it a new name, you guys. We call it
no sense.
Right? We called it the Mount Rushmore because originally we did 4 with somebody, and then after that we dropped it. We were like, basketball's 5 players. Why are we calling it Mount Rushmore? But it's our Mount Rushmore of ballers. It could be WNBA, NBA, or you can do both. Your 5 best, any position, any era. Who is Elisha Taylor taking?
Oh, that's tough. So 5. Am I one of the 5?
If you want. Hey. Go ahead, girl. You do you.
Go ahead. You're Black Italian. You're Black Italian.
You do you.
Let's see. So you're saying to pick five players, any
position, any era. It could be
WNBA or NBA.
Yeah, either or you can do both. It's cool.
This is tough. Like if I'm just putting together on the 2K, maybe maybe I'll put.
Go ahead.
Whatever you want. You get whatever you want.
Let's see. Just to see what it looks like. I don't know. Just to see what it looks like. Put some Wilt Chamberlain out there.
Okay.
And Kareem out there.
Okay, too big.
Okay. 2 Lakers.
Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan. But these are great. This is too much.
It's all right. I like it.
All right. That's why we asked this question, because it's hard to answer.
It's a good mix too. You gave us a good mix. We've got some pretty funky mixes from people throughout the weeks. Trust me. We had someone who gave us.
Have you got that combo?
No, believe it or not.
Said Wilt.
Yeah, no one said Wilt. Exactly.
It blows my mind that people just forget about him.
Right?
Yeah, you can't forget about Wilt Chamberlain. No, brother, no way.
Absolutely.
You're averaging like what, 40 and like 20 a game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that 100-point game he had too. I mean, that was kind of a big
game,
just putting
just
putting that out there. All right, George. We usually don't do this question this far at the end, but because it's you, we're gonna do this. Go ahead, George. Ask her your question, and then I'm gonna segue into our closing.
Okay, so I actually have like 3 questions.
You're killing me, boss. You're killing me.
I'm gonna ask you 2. So number 1, like, what was your favorite basketball movie growing up, and what's the expectation of you being in Space Jam 2?
What do you think my favorite basketball movie is?
Come on now, what's the background, bro?
Other basketball?
No. No. Actually, beg to differ. Everyone assumes that Love and Basketball is not my favorite movie, basketball movie. White Man Can't Jump is my favorite basketball movie.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. That's why I asked.
Hey.
I know that movie in and out. Like my mom used to come in to my room and watch me. Like she would like sneak up on me, and I'd be like, "I'm gonna go get my money back." Like, she's like, I was like, "Oh, I think I'm Rosie Perez." So I thought I was Rosie Perez. I thought I was Sydney Dean. I thought I was the whole shebang bang. I was every character in the movie. That was my favorite movie. I just loved every single part of it. I'm going to Sizzler. Like, we going to Sizzler. That was my personality right there. Like, as cocky and as crazy as they would talk so much, sugar honey iced tea on there. And I'm a little girl watching it. I was like, I wish I could do that, but I'm not a mouthy player. I kind of let my game play for me, but I just love watching that on the TV screen. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head.
That's hilarious. I freaking love that. Well,
Sydney, at the BBL, did that last you meet Sydney Dean there that day?
Sydney Dean, no, you met Billy. You met Billy before the last tournament. Billy, who was, acting like they can't play and then come out there and show.
Well, wasn't Sydney at the last tournament at the BBL?
Yes, but Billy was talking all the mad head at the end. Remember?
Yeah.
So I was Billy boy, and
you were Billy. Got you.
Yeah, I was tapping into that. And then when I was chilling back, I was Rosie.
Got you.
So you got to go to the actual court, right? From the movie. Okay, how did that feel getting to step on that court? With that being your favorite movie.
Oh my God, I was like pretending like I was doing every scene there. I was reminiscing, doing all the moves and stuff that was going on at that court. I was cracking up, just reminiscing, like sitting there, like this is definitely a fictitious movie, but it's real life for me and us ballers because we live it for real.
Yeah.
But it was so fun. Yeah.
That's so cool. All right, I gotta
my
ask.
second question.
Go ahead, George. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what could we expect for Space Jam 2? Because I know we all know you're in it.
Well, can you legally tell us?
Like, what can you legally tell us?
I'm allowed to talk a bit about it. It's gonna be amazing. It's definitely its own movie. So we got Jordan's version. Now we got LeBron's version. And you have to sit back and put your seatbelt on and get ready because it's gonna be a blast. And being a character in a movie like I'm being is called motion capture. So let me just explain that. A lot of people is like, oh, are you the voice? Are you in the movie? You can see you? Like, yes and no. Here's the thing. I'm a motion caption character. So those Looney Tunes. Those Looney Tunes are real people out there with suits. So if you look into, Space Jam, the first movie, it was people with green suits on. Green background, green suits with a lot of patches. Gray or green suits with a lot of balls all over them, and they're moving and they're giving Jordan an idea where the Looney Tunes are at and the Monstars. So the same thing with Space Jam 2, but this time because CGI is so much better and so much more powerful, we get to do more than just be markers for the player. We're actually doing all the movements. We have a ball in our hand. We're dribbling. We're going behind the back. We're spin moving. We're falling. We're banging into each other. We're doing Looney Tune stuff, and they're recording just us. And so I'm Tasmanian devil, and I'm thinking to myself, I gotta be crazy. I gotta be out of control all the time.
We know you could do that.
Oh, you got that.
Yo, you got that in the bag.
You did it.
Exactly.
Before I went on air, you said you loved Taz, growing up as well. How perfect is this?
Right. The character was given to me. They said, we want you to be Taz. Here you go. This is the character that fits. And I feel like you can establish it. So I was like, perfect. I'm going to tap into my Tasmanian devil. Lots of spinning, spinning. And a lot of dribbling and a lot of talking with LeBron James. So there's a scene where you'll see me speaking back and forth with LeBron James. And it's not a really good team speech. He's screaming at me. He's mad. And I'm just like, ah!
Yeah.
See my hands going, you'll see me. And then I come back and I do some wonderful things for the movie. So
I'm so freaking excited. We've been waiting for this.
Wait, so when is the movie getting released? When is it? You guys have a release date?
So it was supposed to be out in the summer of this year.
Yeah.
Now, if I think about it, there were some reshoots. And sometimes reshoots can cause a production to go a little bit longer. So there was some reshoots. Then COVID happened. So it's kind of up in air, but I believe on IMDb it's gonna still say this summer. So hopefully we stay on track and it's not pushed too far back. Because they pushed Wonder Woman so far. Wonder Woman never came out. It just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. So I was like, they're definitely going to do this to Space Jam 2. Because if you're constantly, I think they were even done with Wonder Woman and they pushed it for just barely came out a few months ago. Yeah. And Space Jam is supposed to be out in the summer. And I think they're going to push it for another few months. But don't quote me on that because our team of experts could definitely be done with it,
Yeah. Either way, I'm super excited. I'm a big Space Jam fan. I have been for years. Another question I've had, I mentioned to these guys before when we asked people, hey, are you excited for Space Jam to come out? And everyone's going, yeah, Alicia's going to be in it. They've mentioned since first show, even the guys were like, Drewski was really excited, a bunch of them. My question, when I heard there wasn't going to be any Monstars. When you heard that, were you kind of bummed? And then if you were casting the movie, who would you put in as the Monstars?
So you cut out for me. So can
Oh,
you
I'm
repeat
sorry.
that one more time?
The Monstars, apparently I heard the Monstars are not going to be in the movie. And if you were casting and they were in the movie, who would you have put in?
So I can't really
You can't say
yeah.
it. It's fine. Okay.
Well, let me
Right.
see. I'm just gonna give you a little teaser.
Okay, just don't get in
We
trouble.
do have
Don't get in
Monstars,
trouble. So okay, cool.
We'll
That's all you gotta say.
we do have something. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Because I heard both sides. I wanted to get it from the source. So thank you. I appreciate that. Now I'm excited. Now I want to know who they are. That's awesome.
Yeah, same.
So cool. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. I also wanted to ask about actually I'm gonna let them go and close out real quick and then I have two major questions. Doc, did you have anything else you wanted to put out there before we do our final three and close out?
Yeah. So I don't know, just a little bit more about your baby boy coming. Again, congratulations, really amazing. Is there anything that you want to pass down? That it could be anything that you didn't learn, or it could be something that you really cherished about like your whole outlook on life or whatever. Like, what's like the biggest thing that you want for your son to be part of like his character, I guess?
Okay, so personality wise, I would love for me to pass down my laughter and for him to have a great sense of humor
And a hype man.
Okay.
Yes, a high frequency level of understanding. And when it comes to, being in a world where COVID is happening, hopefully this will be all done by the time he's, understanding, but like still be able to smile and laugh and find the good things. Also like things that it may not be stereotypical for guys. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, do you like horseback riding? And guys like, no.
Yeah.
I want to be like,
to be well-rounded.
all kinds of things.
You want to be well-rounded, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Renaissance man. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good thing to
But
have.
I just want him to have that. I want him to be very open and just on a whole nother wavelength and be able to laugh a lot.
Awesome. And then do you have a name picked out already, or is
Worded.
that like something that you're still working on, or are you sharing that later? Like
working on it. I have a few names thought out. They're Egyptian names, they're Greek names, and then like I'm really into DC and Marvel. I really love Superman's name. So
okay.
Wow.
This is gonna be
Hopefully your husband could compromise towards it, but
You have to have a big name reveal on your Instagram or something.
Yeah, you have to put it on Instagram.
The boy's most common name this year is probably going to be Kobe. So was that like
Jordan?
Yes, that was an idea because I was thinking like, dang, everyone's gonna be Kobe this year. Like I wanted to get away from, names that are just everyone's name. Like
right.
I don't
like
want
a common name.
I don't want him to be another John or another Jacob, another
Chris,
Aiden,
or Marcus.
Hayden. I want him to have something unique, and I understand that a lot of people will still have like even Odyssey. I love her name. I love Odyssey's name. And then a boy version of a Greek name would probably be Odysseus or Olympia, something like that. Something cool like that. Not everyone has. You're not gonna meet. You're gonna meet 20 Johns when you walk out the door. You're gonna meet 20 Adams and so forth. But you may not come across
Olympus.
A Kal-El.
I love it. Exotic names are awesome. I absolutely love exotic names. So we can't wait. Like I said, you got to do a big reveal. It's going to be super.
I love that. Like, I rarely ever meet anybody with my name. Like, rarely ever meet anyone with my name. I love that. So
must be nice. Must be nice.
That makes you the pioneer of that name. Doc.
True. There you go. I want to jump on what Doc just said. She's talking about what you want to leave for you want to teach your son and what you're going to carry over to your son. I want to know, what legacy do you want to leave just in general from all your time in acting, modeling, and being a baller, what kind of legacy do you want to leave when you hang up your shoes?
So yeah, I want to make sure I instill in him that he could do in everything that his mind and power can invest in. So I want him to be able to see my life's work and be able to be like, if mommy can do it, if daddy can do it, I can do it too. And I can do things even greater and better. I never want to be a shadow. On top of that, I believe my kid definitely is going to surpass me in so many areas. I want to instill in that, that development, that you are not only just an athlete, you're going to be academically, sealed. And I want you to have so much knowledge. Like, that's the key to raising a kid. In my opinion, I feel like you have to give them so much knowledge, and not just in the schools, not reliant on the schools. I definitely picked up history books throughout my time in grade school and whatnot, and it just wasn't enough. So I'm always going to go that extra mile and that distance to educate him. He will be full of knowledge outside of just being at school. He will have mommy here to instill too much that he's in like, okay, mom, I got it. I memorized the whole entire thing. I got it, mom.
That's a good thing.
I was like,
I'm like that
you
with
should
my
have
son.
all the knowledge in the world.
It's true. And you can turn anything into a lesson and make it a fun lesson, though. I do that with my son all the time. And he's like, Dad, shut up. Seriously, he's 9. Dad, shut up already. Like, come on. Like, why? Like, you need to know this. It could be something super small. I do it with this food all the time. He's in math fractions now. So everything I do, okay, well, let me have half of your pizza and you can have a quarter of my cup. He's like, dude, really, Dad? Like, seriously? So, like, life lessons are so fun. They can be a lot of fun. So when you have those situations later on in life where he's broken something or he's hurt himself somehow, try to turn it positive. I promise you'll be able to do that. Okay, so we're way over on time, but I don't care because you're amazing and you let us do that. And thank you so much. We're gonna do our closeout. Usually it's all our squares, but right now we got our 2 over here. We're gonna close out. Question from Doc, question from George, question from myself, and then we'll finish off. My final question for you is kind of what Doc said, but a little bit different. First off, being a parent is like the coolest experience ever. Most tiring experience, but it's like the coolest experience. My question for you is, what ability did you learn in basketball that you intend on using in your parental habits? And what are you looking most forward to most about being a mom?
Good question. I think I understand it, because if I'm going to use a basketball talent, I have to be able to chase after this baby once he starts running. So I got to be quick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're a point guard, so you're always quick.
Right. Especially if you keep walking, straight to running. They do that sometimes. Okay. And what are you looking most forward to being a mother?
I want to just hold him. I want to kiss him. I want to say goodnight. I want to watch him go to sleep. I want to be there when he wakes up. And I also want to read to him all these books that I have. I want to read. And I also want to see him just get every level of development and be like, wow, be wowed about it. Just be mind blown. I'm looking to be mind blown.
You're bringing a tear to my eye now, because while you were doing that, I had flashbacks of holding my son the very first time, and Doc, I can see her daughters. It's a moment you'll never, ever, ever, ever forget. And, like I said, sometimes you're going to be crying at 3:00 in the morning, holding little man. You're going to be like, oh my God, just go to bed. I got to be up in the morning. But then you're going to be like, it's worth it, So just remember that. Doc, you want to go ahead and jump on that real quick before I go to your question?
Yeah, so man, you never realize how much you appreciate your sleep until you have a baby, right? But it's like this labor of love. Like you're like, I don't know, just give me the torture, because it's this little being is just so precious and just so amazing. And there's nowhere else you would rather be in that moment, even though as hard as it is, it's just like those intimate moments that you have with your child are like the best. It's the best feeling in the world. And so I had I had Mariah first, and then I had Christina. Christina came when Mariah was 3. And so then I had a toddler and a newborn at the same time. And their dad at the time worked in Sacramento during the week, and he would only come home on the weekends. So I was alone, right? And so that was even tougher because there was like that mental part to it as well, like not wanting one to feel left out, who's a toddler, who's so used to being number one, and then taking care of this brand new newborn who needs every second of my attention, right? And so even then, it's just like you figure it out. So one of the things that a lot of moms ask me is like, they have their baby and they're like, how do you like love the new one as much as you love the one that you already have? And it's like, it just happens, it just comes. So if I don't talk to you when you have another one, then you'll know, don't worry, you're gonna love the next one just as much, because the love that you experience once this baby is born, you're gonna feel like there's no way on earth that I could ever love another being more than I love this baby right here. So how could I ever have any more kids? It happens, it just happens. Okay. But also that being said, like this would be my final thing. I think that you're gonna approach being a mom with just as much like fervor and excellence as you do everything in life. So I'm really excited for your baby. I think that he's gonna be one of the luckiest little boys in the world to have you as a mom. So I'm really excited for you and for him.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you.
Yeah.
So true. So true. All right, George, go ahead and close us out, dude.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to thank you, Elisha, for spending your time with us on the show. And fun fact, my dad's name is Elisha. So Elisha. Awesome. So I just wanted to throw that out there. For real. Yeah,
is it
right?
spelled the same?
It's spelled the same, but it's Elisha.
Yes.
So that's my dad's
It's in the
name.
Bible, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, so my question to you is, we interviewed 3 of your teammates on here that played for your Space Jam team and with Coach Don. Yeah, so we interviewed Nate and Jen, we interviewed Keisha and Gianna. I love Gianna. So I asked them this question is, what was your favorite moment of playing in the Drew League under Coach Don and why?
Okay.
When we let's see. When we beat the team that almost won it all, I forgot the name of the team.
I believe it's Sage. I don't know, something Sage or something.
No, that wasn't it. It was
it?
Tierra Lauderdale's team.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was T's team, and we beat them. That was exciting.
Calling you out, T. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. No.
That part. And then, of course, when Don brings us back to Zen, we're all like rattled a little bit, and he is able to speak and say, it could be something very simple. It could be like,
what? No, really.
We only got 2 minutes.
Elisha.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of time.
George, hang on. Elisha, it actually cut out when you were talking about what the Zen. Can you possibly repeat that really quick of what Don said or the effect that it had? I apologize.
Yes, when Don is able to just create that Zen for us, and he's still calm and collected, and he says whatever it is that to just make us all calm down. It could be when we're like down by 5 or so, and we only got 2 minutes. I'm like, how is he so calm? And he's like, we got this. It's okay. We're gonna get it. Whatever it is that he says, is just. And we're all like, if he's not tripping, why are we?
It carries over. It really does. So awesome. If we don't have anything else, George, you have anything else you want to throw out?
Okay, one more question. One very last question.
Okay.
So you mentioned your time with Kobe and everything. So you kind of mentioned like those moments, like when you were at the Mamba Mentality gym. So in your personal life, before you met Kobe, what has Kobe mean to you, and why, as either a basketball player or even as a person?
So Kobe means so much to not only myself, but the world of basketball. He just exemplified a true, great, always grinding, always working hard at his craft, making it look like that he just got it overnight, but he didn't. And he expressed that, and he explained it throughout his career that, no, I put in the work. I put in 24-hour days of work. He even had to figure out how to keep his family time managed and his basketball time managed. And he explained this in a lot of interviews, shortening up that traffic, being in traffic just so he can get home to his family faster. Just everything that he expressed in his interviews by being the greatest of all time didn't mean he felt that he was the best. Like, he was just trying to be the best. When you are trying to be the best, that's not that mindset, like, I'm the best, I don't have to work, I don't have to do nothing, I'm already the best. Like, what's the point? He said, I had to grind to be it. I had to have that mindset. That says a lot. That goes beyond just basketball. That goes in your life. Like, I have to work hard to do what it takes to be great at whatever it is that I'm doing. So
life, and
you'll be a great mom, just for the record.
Yeah, we could just the vibe. You are most definitely with this vibe and the experience that you've had. So, Doc, do you have anything you want to add, or one last thing before we cut off?
Oh, because I feel like I'm about to cry. So
you and me both.
Oh, Kobe.
Yes.
Yeah, you're hitting us in the heart, man. Not just Kobe, just Kobe, and the things of you talking about, the excitement of you talking about being a mother. Like, it's bringing back so many flashbacks to me of being a father, and I bet Doc being a mom the first time and also the second time. It, like I said, it's just to close out with anything with you, approach your parental life the way you would a game. Have fun with it, but stay hard when you need to be, and go make those memories, girl. Go do what you got to do. Your life is about to change extremely in an amazing way, and you're, like we said, you're going to be a kick-ass mom. There's no other way to put it. You're going to be one of the coolest moms out there. So if you ever need any advice, Doc's here, I'm here, anything you want to know. So I'm going to leave it at that. About life is bigger than
we didn't even see the video, but it's okay.
We're not playing that video. Will you stop? I'm trying to close on a nice emotional moment here, and you go back to the damn video. Stop it. He's like the little brother that just goes and nitpicks on purpose. We love you, George.
Hey, Elisha, I'm like the Charles Barkley of the show. So if you see inside the
my
NBA,
God, yeah.
like, you'll know what's up.
He is.
We need Shaq to wrestle you.
Yeah, that's Doc. Yeah. So, with that said, I just want to say thank you, Elisha. It's been so cool getting to talk to you during this week, and then really getting to know you here. I apologize for the technical issues. Zoom, we need to talk, but you had so many awesome stories. Oh my gosh! Like, I'm gonna carry some of the stuff that you talked about and try to do that with my son, or if I coach again, with my team. Just things to carry over in life, and the way that you approach it with such a positive mentality, an optimistic mentality. I absolutely love that. Don't ever change that about yourself. And then your bubbly, goobery personality, that it's so infectious. I love it. Don't lose that. I'm super excited for Space Jam. If you guys don't watch Space Jam, something's wrong with you. Go see our girl, Elisha Taylor. Either it's going to be at the house.
Number 23.
Gotta see it. 23, our girl is going to be Taz. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to leave it at that. I just want to say one last thing.
23.
Yes, the 23. So I want to just say this. Enjoy life. Be silly, but be ready to ball out at any time. Be safe out there, guys. We love you. Peace out.
Peace.